So I guess the next thing is, let's see if we can go and check out Evrart before we do anything else, because he probably leaves after a certain time. And then, so we tell him about the signatures, and we'll tell him about the nightclub drug lab situation. But then after that, we can go back and check on the traps, and we should be kind of getting close to checking out the apartments, either 9 o'clock for apartment 21, or the Cape Side apartments for the communist rally. This I still think is locked, right?
You're back before the cargo container.
Yeah.
Its drawer has not lessened.
The rhetoric could also be improved somewhat. Well, yeah. Again, I'm kind of increasing suggestion based on a joke, but it was useful for Lena in that situation, so... No, it wasn't all bad. Alright, is Evrart still here? He is.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Evrart Clare do for you today?
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
How?
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now.
Alright. Where's my gun?
You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Okay.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
So, the signatures I got. I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise. Did you order the hangman killed? Can I get my gun now? That's it for now. Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, so there's no point in insulting him about it. Fine, where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
Old woman, old washerwoman?
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
The gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
This doesn't sound like the washerwoman. It sounds more like the cleaning lady in the apartments.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
Okay, this doesn't sound like someone we've met then. Because the Pigs does not describe any other ladies we know.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
Alright, so we've got some more stuff to do at night time tonight.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Okay.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Did you order the hangman killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What did you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Have you ever heard what 2 giant Sorays hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it. They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men? Of course he's not afraid for his men. He doesn't care.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
And what if they send more than that?
The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
Yeah, everyone hates them except ultra-liberals maybe, which happens to be me. Now, I can say this for the thought, but I'm not going to. How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Actually, no, it's not.
Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
Okay, how many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbour?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
Like drug labs.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the summer and Acele. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the top of the iceberg though, isn't it? God, that sounds shady. Digging it, Evrart. I have to say, I'm digging this part. That's just the top of the iceberg though.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
Is that a happy side effect?
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
He smiles.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Drugs are a no-go for me, I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well put together plan and far removed from you. Interesting stuff, I just want to solve this murder, okay? Makes sense to regulate the drug trade like this and keeps it out of more dangerous hands. He is the more dangerous hands. But I can't necessarily say I'll report it though. But let's say it's a well put together plan.
It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
It would still be illegal, so is there a trade or isn't there? Go on, say nothing. I'm not going to be able to convince him to actually say, yes, it's illegal. But I can get him to say whether there is a trade or not.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
How very communist of you.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Hold on, I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to. I mean, if it has the word incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. That's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings. It's not my place to judge or express an opinion. Hold on, I don't want to look at the big picture.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it.
So why was it on the table to begin with?
Boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
So then it's, I'm a money guy. It's ambitious. I love what you're doing. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol. Not enough flags or kings. Not my place. Well, again, we don't want to sit on the fence. I don't think we're necessarily that much of a royalist, so we don't really care about it being for Revachol. This is... I love what you're doing for the working man is kind of going a bit too far. I don't want to say that. Incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. Sure, why not? I'm trying to get my own money. Like, that's the reason why I took the bribe from him in the first place. It's why I'm trying to... I need money to do my job, essentially. Oh, well, I need money to play the game in terms of swapping out outfits and ask the questions properly. But that is functionally for me to do my job as a detective. So I guess I will have to say I'm a money guy.
Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're using the best parts of all the ideologies here, Harry.
I'm sure you would like to think that. Alright, so the last thing I can say is about the signatures. I need to plan to force them out. Let's just keep that in our back pocket for now. Can I ask you about specific union members?
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Alright, well, that's it for now then.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly, there's sadness in his tone. I don't think we've necessarily united the RCM and the Union.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Sure. I met a girl named Acele who said she's working with you.
Funny. That doesn't ring any bells, Harry.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Funny. She was trying to set up a narcotics operation in the old church on the coast.
Oh, that Acele. Yes, I do seem to remember sending a pretty young thing down there to liven up the place. Get some hypnotic music in there.
So he does know her. Did you also tell her to start the amphetamine lab?
Amphetamine lab? That sounds very immoral and debauched. Frankly, a health risk. But what do I know about kids these days? The music they listen to, the drugs they do while they listen to that music.
He shakes his head with a melancholy smile.
It sounds to me like you are trying to start an amphetamine lab in the district. And you're using some delinquents you found, God knows where, to set it up and run it for you.
The lieutenant has an uncharacteristic note of contempt in his voice.
Found God knows where? That Acele is the daughter of Miko the Kebab, a man who once killed a guy with a kebab.
Okay, is that someone we should know?
I think a daughter of a man who killed a man with a kebab can handle running a little nightclub, don't you?
Miko the Kebab, really?
Maybe it was Bogovir. Or Jakub. I think it might have been Conrad.
Alright, well, we asked Evrart about Acele in the drug lab. We got 10 XP and another 5 XP as part of the level up. So let's say nothing.
I got it, Harry. It was Radagost. Radagost the Kebab. But enough of koikos and kebabs. What else can I do for you?
Alright, so questions
I'm
about the
always happy to
harbour is the
educate an
signatures.
entity.
Okay.
Very nice, Harry.
That'll do. Alright, and he said we can talk to Leo about specific union members. Let's go ahead and do that. And before we talk to Leo, we'll also make another save. So, he said that the gun's been found, and it's with an old woman called the Pigs. Now, in terms of old ladies we know, there is the washerwoman, there is the cleaning lady in the apartments, there's the pail driver, which I don't necessarily know if we know their name yet, so that might be the Pigs, but it seems unlikely. So it might just be someone that we haven't met yet. Alright, Leo.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to... No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I want to ask about someone.
Mr. Evrart doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
Ooh, there's lots of people. Tell me about this Edgar guy you keep mentioning.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does. But a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revachol, they say.
Yeah, we haven't met Edgar, Claire. And let's not interrupt him.
All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Evrat's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too.
Yeah, we know. We literally just talked to him about it.
The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
Tell me about Manana.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Evrart sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how far people can go. Not actually doing that much, but just being sociable and likable.
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful times like these.
Tell me about Measurehead.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
No, you should. Go on.
That's precisely what he is. Everart's dragon.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Tell me about Titus.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is.
I don't believe that.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
Okay. Tell me about Evrart.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Evrart would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister.
If anything, the ever-present smile on Leo's face gets even warmer. Tell me about Renee.
The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee. They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once.
Hold up, Gaston was your human studies teacher?
Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge how old Leo is, but I am assuming that he is a lot younger than Renee and Gaston then.
Mr. Martin, Gaston also taught history and human studies to the Clear brothers.
Ah, so we can ask him about Evrart and Edgar. Alright, I want to talk about something else.
Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
I think that's it. Let's ask about the container.
Oh, that one. That should be it.
Told you.
Yeah, nothing in it. Alright, I'm off. Okay. Go to the trap.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid.
So that's it. There's no phasmid. Oh well. Alright. So, since we're over here, we'll go and talk to Lillian, just because we can. I'll double check what the value is on the suggestion check is. And then we'll do a story with Idiot Doom Spiral, because that'll pass some time.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer
Yeah,
down.
so it's 15. 15 and Kim's presence makes it awkward. Alright, washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Nope. Okay. Alright, so which alcohol do I want to give to them? It's Commodore Red. Alright. Idiot Doom Spiral! Hello.
Tequila Sunset.
I'll supply the booze if you supply the stories.
Wonderful.
Commodore Red.
Classy.
He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Koran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
You got a smoke on you? If yeah, you should light up. Help set the scene.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks up to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
A horse?
Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man...
The pause is long and dramatic.
With no head on his shoulders. Wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought the Headless Found Rider rode a bull, showing the figurine. Whoa, that sounds pretty implausible, that's super spooky. I thought he was on a bull.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
The lieutenant says with a little smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the Headless Found Rider riding on the back of another headless man.
That sounds pretty implausible to me.
If I hadn't lost my keys that one time, I'd agree with you. But life is a cruel mistress.
He takes a sip.
Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the Headless Found Rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it.
I've read the case file, but please, go on.
So Kim knows whether Idiot Doom Spiral is going to be making stuff up or not now.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula DuPont and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box. When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the Headless Found Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
He looks you straight in the eye. What did the case file say? Asked Kim. What happened to Ula DuPont? Asked Doom Spiral. It's a nice story, but obviously he's a vagrant, a drunk. I'm kind of interested in what actually happened. So, what actually happened, Kim?
Naturally, Ula De Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called Headless Found Rider and that she ran, fearing for her life.
He adjusts his glasses.
During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story.
Well, is it a stupid cover story if the Headless Found Rider already exists as a myth and indeed actually has figurines? Maybe not. Was she arrested?
No. She committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling.
That's kind of sad.
Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well. Here's to another case closed.
Yeah, and that's the kind of info that he wouldn't have known that because, he's not a police officer, or a detective. He wouldn't know what happened to DuPont afterward. He takes a hearty swig from his bottle.
Anyway, that's the story of the Headless Found Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was the Headless Rider before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost-found cap, plotting revenge. Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
That's a bit slapstick.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Oh.
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
Yeah, that seems very coincidental. And would a horse not book off any, you know, perceived rider that they didn't already know about and weren't, you know, tamed to respond to?
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Yeah, well, I suppose that it's coincidence, but probably more actually likely to happen. I've got a hunch it was the undercover cop I'd want revenge too. I bet it was the jockey, he seems super committed. I've got to agree your theory sounds the most plausible. None of them sound plausible, to be honest. No, I agree with Idiot Doom Spiral.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right.
I don't know about perfectly.
Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
I've already seen some weird shit on this case. A headless jockey in a tracksuit fits right in.
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
That's nothing. I've got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
And this is where talking to Lena and Morel is useful, because otherwise you wouldn't have a story to let him know about it. Well, this one is, the gnome of Jeroma dissolves its victims with acid.
Acid gnomes? Sounds like a stupid, low-concept band name.
It's kind of disappointing that he doesn't respond to it. Okay, whatever became of the headless farm rider.
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He makes a spooky gesture with his free hand. What is a spooky gesture? Like, is it just going, ooh?
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Mm-hmm. And yet we know that there's a literal 2mm hole in the world, so again, you can't just dismiss all these things straight off.